Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive.
Yeah, always exciting to get into a new topic.
This time we're tackling something that might seem a little, well, out there magic.
Ah, yes, but not the David Copperfield kind.
Exactly. We're going beyond the stage illusions and diving into the history and philosophy of magic, exploring how it's been understood and practiced across different cultures and eras.
I think our listeners are going to be surprised by what they discover.
I agree. So to guide us on this journey, we'll be looking at excerpts from Transcendental Magic, its Doctrine and Ritual, a 1910 English translation of a 19th century grimoire written by the enigmatic Eliphas Levi.
Now, when I say grimoire, don't think spellbook. Think of it more as a philosophical treatise, a deep dive into the nature of reality, the power of the human mind, and the hidden forces at play in the universe.
Think of it this way. We're trying to decode an ancient language, understanding what magic meant to people in the past, how it shaped their worldview, their beliefs, their understanding of the cosmos.
It's a journey that will take us from ancient Egypt and Greece through the Middle Ages and into the 19th century.
And along the way, we'll encounter some fascinating figures who are revered for their supposed magical abilities, people like Hermes Trismegistus.
Hermes Trismegistus. Oh, absolutely. A legendary figure shrouded in myth and mystery.
Right, like was he a real person or more of an archetype, a symbol of ancient wisdom?
That's part of the mystery. We know there are texts attributed to him, like the Emerald Tablet of Hermes, which was basically a cheat sheet of occult wisdom, supposedly containing the secrets of the universe.
Wow, talk about a powerful text.
It was believed to hold the key to alchemy, astrology, and the manipulation of natural forces.
And then there's the Book of Thoth, which we know today as the Tarot.
Ah, the tarot, a fascinating system of symbols and archetypes that's been used for centuries for divination and self-discovery.
But back then it was considered a repository of secret knowledge passed down from the gods.
Exactly. These texts weren't just for entertainment. They were seen as guides to understanding the hidden workings of the universe.
It's amazing how different their perspective was. They saw magic not as something supernatural, but as an integral part of reality.
It was woven into their understanding of science, religion, and philosophy.
Okay, so we have these ancient figures in these enigmatic texts. But how did this understanding of magic evolve over time?
Well, that's one of the things Levi explores in his book. He traces this shift in thinking about magic from a primarily practical art to a more complex philosophical system.
So it went from, how do I make this happen, to what makes anything happen at all?
Exactly. And this evolution was influenced by various mystical traditions and philosophical systems, one of the most important being the Kabbalah.
Okay, the Kabbalah. Now, I've heard that term thrown around a lot,
Yeah.
but I'll be honest, I don't really know what it is.
Well, imagine trying to understand a complex machine without a manual. The Kabbalah is like that manual for understanding the universe. It's a Jewish mystical tradition that uses symbols, numbers, and divine names to explain the structure of existence and how we can access hidden knowledge.
So it's not just about spells and rituals, it's about understanding the cosmic architecture behind it all.
Precisely. The Kabbalah provides a framework for understanding the interconnectedness of everything, the flow of energy, and the forces at play in the universe.
And how does Levi connect this to magic?
Well, he sees the Kabbalah as a key to unlocking the secrets of magic. It provides the language, the symbols, the map for navigating the hidden realms.
So it's like a secret code that magicians use to understand and manipulate those forces.
Exactly. Levi dives into specific Kabbalistic concepts, like the 10 Sephiroth, which are represented on the Tree of Life, and the Tetragrammaton, the four-letter name of God, which is considered a source of immense power.
Okay, this is getting pretty deep.
Yeah.
But what about the actual mechanics of magic? How does it supposedly work?
Well, this is where Levi introduces the concept of the astral light.
The astral light. Okay, I'm intrigued. What is that?
He describes it as a universal agent of magic, a living, fluid-like energy that permeates everything in the universe.
It's like a cosmic ocean of energy connecting everything together.
Exactly. And Levi believes that magicians can tap into this astral light through willpower, imagination, and ritual.
So it's not about supernatural powers, but about harnessing this natural force that's already present everywhere.
Precisely. He even compares the astral light to a cosmic recording device, capturing all thoughts and actions throughout history. This, he argues, is how divination and communication with the dead might be possible.
Wow, that's a mind-blowing concept. So a magician is like a conductor channeling this astral light to to achieve specific goals.
That's a great analogy. But like any powerful tool, there's the question of how it's used. That's where the distinction between white and black magic comes in.
Yeah, the age-old battle between good and evil, even in the realm of magic.
Exactly. For Levi, white magic is about using this power for positive purposes, for healing growth, self-discovery, and understanding.
It's about aligning yourself with the positive forces in the universe and working in harmony with them.
Black magic, on the other hand, is about manipulating and controlling others, often for selfish gain or to cause harm.
So it's not just about what you can do, but why you're doing it. The intention behind the magic is what matters.
Exactly. Levi provides examples of both white and black magic in his book, highlighting the potential for both good and evil in the practice of magic.
It's like a double-edged sword. It all comes down to the choices you make.
And those choices have consequences not just in the physical world, but also in the spiritual realm.
Okay. So we've got ancient wisdom, mysterious texts, a universal energy field, and a moral code for using magic. It's a lot to take in.
It is. But this is just the beginning. Our journey into transcendental magic is just getting started.
Well, I'm definitely hooked. I can't wait to see where this deep dive takes us next.
Stay tuned, because we're about to explore some even more fascinating and thought-provoking aspects of Levi's work.
I'm ready for it. Let's do this.
All right, then let's dive back in.
So we've been talking about how Levi traces the evolution of magic from a practical art to a more philosophical system, and how he draws on the Kabbalah to explain the structure of the universe and the forces at play.
And as we mentioned, he introduces this concept of the astral light, this universal agent of magic that permeates everything.
Now I'm curious, did Levi try to connect his ideas about magic to what was known about science at the time?
He did, and it's one of the most fascinating aspects of his work. He saw magic not as something supernatural, but rather as a deeper understanding of natural laws that science was just beginning to grasp.
So he was trying to bridge the gap between what we might call mysticism and what we consider science.
Exactly. He even talks about this great magical agent, which is essentially another name for the astral light, and how it manifests in 4 primary ways that science has studied, but under different names.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me the details. What are these 4 ways?
Think about heat, light, electricity, and magnetism.
Wait a minute. Those are all forces that science acknowledges and studies.
Exactly. And Levi's point is that these are all different expressions of the same underlying energy that powers magic. He's saying that what we call magic might just be a deeper level of understanding about natural forces that we're only starting to grasp.
So he's suggesting that magic isn't supernatural, but rather a deeper understanding of natural laws that we're only beginning to comprehend. Mind blown.
And he doesn't stop there. He even links these 4 forces to various mystical traditions.
Like what?
Well, for example, he connects them to the Tetragrammaton, in Kabbalah INRI, in Christianity Azoth, in alchemy.
And those terms like ether, odd, and magnetic fluid found in other esoteric systems.
Exactly. It's like he's weaving together different strands of knowledge, showing that they might all be pointing to the same universal truth.
It's like a giant puzzle, where each piece, whether from ancient mysticism or modern science, contributes to a greater understanding of the universe and our place in it.
And speaking of puzzles, Levi goes on to explore the 7 planetary influences, a concept rooted in astrology and magical traditions.
Ah, the planets.
Yeah.
Always a source of fascination and mystery. What does Levi say about how they influence our lives?
He assigns specific colors, metals, even animals to each planet, reflecting their unique characteristics and their impact on us.
Give me an example.
Sure, for instance, he associates the sun with gold yellow and the lion, while the moon is linked to silver white and the dog.
It's like a cosmic personality profile.
Yeah.
Where each planet has its unique vibe and influence on our world.
Yeah.
So cool.
Exactly. These associations weren't arbitrary. They were based on centuries of observation and understanding of the qualities each planet embodied.
So it's not just about the physical planets themselves, but about the energies and archetypes they represent.
That's right. And Levi provides instructions on how to harness these planetary influences, even offering guidance on creating talismans to attract specific energies into our lives.
Okay, now we're talking about practical magic, using tools to achieve certain goals.
Exactly. But he emphasizes that this isn't something to be taken lightly. These techniques have real power, and they must be used responsibly.
It makes sense. You wouldn't want to mess around with those cosmic forces without knowing what you're doing.
Absolutely. To drive this point home, Levi introduces the concept of magnetic chains.
Magnetic chains, what are those?
It describes how our thoughts, emotions, and actions can create ripple effects, influencing not only ourselves but the world around us.
So we're all interconnected through this invisible web of energy.
Exactly. It's like a collective consciousness where our individual thoughts and actions contribute to a larger whole.
It's a pretty powerful idea.
And it brings us to a critical point. The power of belief. Levi emphasizes that our beliefs shape our reality. If we believe something is possible, it becomes more likely to manifest in our lives.
It's like that saying, whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right.
Precisely. And Levi uses the example of table turning, a popular phenomenon in his time.
Table turning, what's that?
People would gather around a table, place their hands on it, and claim to communicate with spirits through the table's movements.
That sounds like a 19th century version of a Ouija board.
In a way, it was, and while some dismissed it as mere superstition, Levi attributed it to this universal magnetic agent, that same force we've been discussing, seeking a chain of enthusiasms to form new currents.
So he's saying the power wasn't in the table itself, but in the collective belief and focused intention of the people gathered around it.
Exactly. It's like their thoughts and beliefs were literally moving the table.
Wow. That's pretty mind-blowing.
And that's crucial for understanding magic. It's not about manipulating physical objects, but about understanding and directing energy, both within ourselves and in the world around us.
So it's more about working with the subtle forces of the universe than about controlling physical matter.
Precisely. And Levi goes on to explore how this understanding of energy and intention can be applied to various aspects of life, from healing to influencing others to even achieving seemingly impossible goals.
Oh, okay. Now I'm really intrigued. This is starting to sound less like fantasy and more like a system for understanding and working with the hidden forces of reality.
That's exactly what Levi intended. He challenged conventional thinking and encouraged exploration of human potential and the possibility of abilities beyond our imagination.
It's like he's opening a door to a whole new way of seeing the world and our place in it.
And that's what makes his work so fascinating. It challenges us to expand our thinking and see the connections between seemingly unrelated fields of knowledge, from ancient mysticism to modern science.
Well, I'm definitely ready to explore further. I'm eager to see how these concepts play out in the rest of Levi's transcendental magic.
Then let's continue our deep dive. There's much more to uncover.
Lead the way.
All right. In our next segment, we'll delve into Levi's insights into the practical applications of magic, including how he believed we could use these principles to heal ourselves, influence others, and even achieve seemingly impossible goals.
Sounds like it's going to get even more interesting from here.
Oh, it definitely will.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Now, you might be wondering how those planetary influences we discussed connect to actually practicing magic.
I was just thinking that it all sounds very symbolic and mystical, but how did people actually do magic? Did Levi get into the nitty-gritty?
He did, and this is where it gets really exciting. He talks about the importance of ritual and ceremony and how specific actions and words can amplify our intentions and connect us to those planetary energies.
So it's not just about positive thinking. It's about taking real steps to align yourself with those cosmic forces.
Exactly. Levi provides detailed instructions on how to create a sacred space for magical workings, how to use gestures and invocations to call upon planetary spirits, and even the right clothes and tools to use for different rituals.
But wait a minute, spirits. Are we talking like ghosts?
Not ghosts in the traditional sense. Think of them more like personified forces of nature, each embodying qualities and powers associated with their planet.
So it's like the magician is working with the essence of the planets through these rituals and invocations.
Precisely. And Levi doesn't skimp on the details. He provides instructions on how to consecrate magical tools like the wand, the sword, and the cup, each representing different aspects of the magician's will and power.
It's like he's giving us a backstage pass to the world of magic, revealing the techniques they've used for centuries.
And what's fascinating is that he emphasizes these tools aren't just physical objects. They're extensions of the magician's own consciousness infused with their intention and willpower.
So it's not the wand itself that has magical power, but the magician's ability to focus and direct their energy through it.
Exactly. Which brings us back to the importance of self-mastery. Levi considers it essential for anyone serious about practicing magic.
He's really hammering home the point that magic isn't about controlling external forces, but about understanding and mastering your inner world.
And that's where Levi's discussion of initiation comes in. He talks about undergoing specific trials and tests to develop the discipline, willpower, and moral strength to handle the power of magic responsibly.
It's not something you pick up overnight. It's a journey of self-discovery and transformation, pushing yourself to unlock your hidden potential.
And that's why Levi stresses the importance of secrecy and silence in magical traditions. He believes revealing these secrets to the unprepared could be dangerous for both the individual and society.
It's like a powerful secret passed down through generations, shared only with those deemed worthy. It adds a whole new layer of intrigue and mystery to the world of magic.
While Levi stresses secrecy, he also recognizes the need for knowledge transmission. He talks about initiation ceremonies where masters guide and instruct those ready to learn.
It's like a lineage of knowledge passed down from teacher to student throughout history. It reminds me of those ancient mystery schools where initiates learned the secrets of the universe through direct experience.
Exactly. And that leads us to one of the most intriguing aspects of Levi's work, his exploration of the darker side of magic, what he calls black magic.
Okay, now we're getting into some spooky territory. What does Levi say about the dangers of black magic?
Levi differentiates between white and black magic based on intention. White magic, as we discussed, is about healing growth and understanding. Black magic seeks to manipulate and control others for selfish gain or to inflict harm.
So it's like crossing an ethical line using these powerful techniques for negative purposes.
Exactly. And Levi doesn't hold back in describing the potential consequences of dabbling in black magic. He talks about the risks of summoning demonic entities, becoming possessed by negative forces, and even causing physical and mental harm.
It's a sobering reminder that power without wisdom can be dangerous, especially when it comes to magic.
To illustrate this, Levi provides examples of black magic practices. He talks about curses, love potions, and even creating wax figures to manipulate individuals through sympathetic magic.
Wait a minute, are those voodoo dolls we see in movies based on real magical traditions?
The concept of sympathetic magic is ancient and widespread. It's the idea that you can influence someone or something by manipulating an object that represents them. Levi describes how sorcerers would create these wax figures, sometimes incorporating personal items to strengthen the connection. Then they would perform rituals on the figure to affect the person it represented.
That's both creepy and fascinating. It shows how deeply these magical beliefs were rooted in the human psyche.
And Levi emphasizes that these practices weren't limited to ancient times. He connects them to modern phenomena like mesmerism and hypnosis, arguing that these techniques, while often used for healing or entertainment, could also be misused to control others.
So it's a reminder that even in our modern world, these forces are at play, and we need knowledge and discernment to navigate them responsibly.
Exactly. And speaking of discernment, Levi dedicates a significant portion of his work to the art of divination, which he sees as crucial for understanding these hidden forces and making wise choices.
Right, divination. We touched on this earlier, but let's dive deeper. How did Levi approach divination? Did he believe in fortune-telling?
Levi saw divination as much more than predicting the future. He believed it was about accessing the astral light, that universal record of all thoughts and actions, to gain insight into the past, present, and future.
So it's like tapping into a cosmic database, gaining a deeper understanding of the patterns and connections that shape our lives.
Precisely. And Levi explored various methods of divination, each with its own approach and symbolism. He discusses the tarot, which he considers a profound system of archetypes and symbols revealing hidden truths.
The tarot. It's not just about the spooky images, but about understanding the deeper meanings they represent.
Exactly. Levi goes beyond fortune-telling with the tarot. He sees it as a tool for self-discovery, a way to explore our subconscious and uncover hidden potential.
So the cards act as a mirror, reflecting back our hidden truths.
In addition to the tarot, Levi discusses other methods like geomancy, using patterns of dots or lines to reveal meanings, and palmistry, interpreting the lines on our hands.
Wow, so many ways to tap into that hidden knowledge. It's like each method offers a unique perspective on the same reality.
Levi emphasizes that the accuracy of any divination method depends on the skill and intuition of the practitioner. He cautions against rigid interpretations and stresses developing your own intuitive understanding of the symbols and signs.
So it's not just memorizing meanings, but cultivating a deeper connection to your inner wisdom and using these tools as a guide.
Exactly. And this brings us to an important point. Levi makes divination isn't about a fixed prediction of the future. It's about revealing possibilities, showing you potential paths based on your current thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
So it's not about passively accepting fate, but using this knowledge to make conscious choices and shape your own destiny.
Precisely. Levi argues that by understanding magic, developing our willpower and intuition, and using divination wisely, we become active creators of our reality rather than simply reacting to fate.
That's powerful. It's like he's saying we have more control over our lives than we realize, and magic can help us tap into that power.
To illustrate this point further, Levi introduces the concept of the embryonic condition of souls. He argues that just as a physical embryo develops over time, our souls evolve through experiences and choices.
The embryonic condition of souls, that's intriguing. Can you elaborate?
Levi draws on the Kabbalistic idea that our souls are constantly evolving and transforming. He suggests that our current lives are just one stage in an ongoing process of spiritual development. He even links this to reincarnation, suggesting our souls might experience multiple lifetimes, each offering opportunities for growth.
So our souls are on a cosmic journey, and each lifetime is a chapter in that story.
And Levi believes that by understanding magic, developing our spiritual awareness, and making conscious choices aligned with our higher purpose, we can influence the trajectory of our soul's evolution, moving towards greater enlightenment in each lifetime.
It's a profound idea, suggesting we have a much bigger role in our spiritual development than we realize. It's like we're co-creating our destinies in this life and lives to come.
Exactly. Levi's exploration of the embryonic condition of souls adds another layer to his understanding of magic. He's not just talking about manipulating external forces, but about transforming ourselves from within, aligning our will with the cosmic forces of creation.
It makes me rethink what it means to be human. It's like we have incredible potential within us, and magic is a key to unlocking that potential.
That's why Levi's work still resonates today. He offers a vision of what's possible when we tap into the hidden powers of the human mind and align with the greater forces of the universe.
It's a reminder that magic isn't just about spells and rituals, but about expanding our awareness, deepening our understanding, and embracing the transformative power of belief and intention.
Exactly. And speaking of transformation, Levi explores one of the most controversial and fascinating aspects of magic, the possibility of transcending physical limitations, even achieving what might seem like miracles.
Okay, now we're talking about levitation, invisibility, maybe even immortality.
He doesn't shy away from these seemingly impossible feats. He uses historical examples like Moses parting the Red Sea and Apollonius of Tyana, who was said to have bilocated and performed miraculous healings.
So he suggests these stories aren't just myths, but could be rooted in reality achieved through mastery of magical principles.
Exactly. And he provides insights into how these seemingly supernatural abilities might be possible, drawing on the astral light and the magician's ability to manipulate its energies.
Okay, for example, how would Levi explain something like invisibility?
He talks about manipulating the perception of others using suggestion and misdirection to create the illusion of invisibility. He even suggests temporarily shifting one's physical form into a state less perceptible to ordinary senses, a concept that aligns with some modern theories about reality and consciousness influencing matter.
So it's not about literally disappearing, but about bending the laws of perception and reality as we know them.
Precisely. And Levi also delves into the possibility of extending lifespan, achieving a form of immortality.
Immortality. Now that's truly entering the realm of fantasy.
Levi doesn't promise eternal life in the conventional sense, but he explores transcending the limitations of the physical body, achieving a state of heightened consciousness and spiritual awareness that allows the soul to continue evolving after death.
So it's more about achieving spiritual immortality where the soul keeps growing beyond this lifetime.
Exactly. And he connects this to the Philosopher's Stone, a legendary substance sought by alchemists for its transformative powers.
Oh, the Philosopher's Stone. I always thought it was just about turning lead into gold.
Levi sees it as much more. He describes it as a symbol of spiritual transformation, a process of purifying and perfecting the soul to achieve enlightenment and liberation from the cycle of death and rebirth.
It's like an allegory for the spiritual journey, the process of refining our consciousness to become more aligned with our true nature.
And Levi argues that this process of spiritual alchemy is the ultimate goal of magic, transcending physical limitations and achieving union with the divine.
It's a profound concept, suggesting magic isn't just about power and control, but about aligning ourselves with the creative forces of the universe and becoming co-creators of our destinies, both in this life and beyond.
What's remarkable is that Levi connects this spiritual transformation to practical techniques that anyone can use.
Really, like what?
He emphasizes self-knowledge, meditation, and ethical conduct as essential steps on the path to spiritual enlightenment. He even provides specific rituals and practices to purify the mind and body, cultivate willpower, and strengthen the connection to one's higher self.
So it's not just esoteric knowledge, but about incorporating these principles into daily life, transforming ourselves from the inside out.
Exactly. That's why Levi's work still resonates today. It's not just ancient spells and rituals, but a guide to self-discovery, empowerment, and spiritual growth.
It's a reminder that magic isn't just about what we can do in the world, but about who we become in the process.
To illustrate the potential for transformation further, Levi offers a glimpse into necromancy and communicating with the dead.
Okay, necromancy. Now we're venturing into truly spooky territory. Did Levi believe it was possible to talk to spirits?
Levi approached necromancy with caution, acknowledging the dangers, but also recognizing the potential for genuine communication with those who have passed. He emphasized approaching these practices with respect, discernment, and understanding the risks.
So it's not something to be taken lightly. You could encounter negative entities or become overwhelmed by the experience.
Exactly. Levi provides guidelines for protecting oneself during necromantic rituals, emphasizing purification, creating a sacred space, and calling upon divine protection.
You need to be spiritually and mentally prepared to handle these energies.
Precisely. Levi also discusses the nature of spirits and how they communicate. He suggests that spirits retain their personalities and memories, but their ability to interact with the physical world is limited.
So it's not a casual chat. It's a more subtle communication requiring sensitivity and intuition.
Exactly. Levi describes how spirits communicate through dreams, visions, and even physical sensations. He suggests they might influence events in the material world, but subtly and indirectly.
It's like those stories about loved ones sending signs or messages from beyond.
Levi emphasizes that necromancy isn't about satisfying curiosity or seeking personal gain. He sees it as a way to gain wisdom and guidance from those who have gone before us.
Like tapping into ancient wisdom and ancestral knowledge for a deeper perspective on life and death.
And that brings us to lycanthropy and the possibility of shape-shifting.
Lycanthropy. Werewolves. Now we're definitely in the realm of myth and legend.
Levi doesn't dismiss these stories as pure fantasy. He acknowledges the widespread belief in shape-shifting and explores the possibility that it might have a basis in reality, though not literally transforming into a wolf.
So not physical transformation, but something more psychological or spiritual.
Exactly. Levi suggests that lycanthropy might be an altered state of consciousness, where the individual experiences a shift in their perception, blurring the lines between human and animal nature. He draws on shamanic practices where individuals connect with animal spirits.
It's like accessing a primal part of our psyche, connecting to instincts we often suppress in modern society.
Levi argues that these experiences, while often perceived as supernatural, might be expressions of latent human potential abilities within us that can be awakened through specific techniques and practices.
It's like we have more in common with animals than we realize, and these ancient myths might hold clues to unlocking those hidden aspects of ourselves.
To illustrate the potential for transcending limitations, Levi explores bilocation appearing in two places simultaneously.
Bilocation. That sounds like science fiction. Did Levi actually think this was possible?
Levi didn't dismiss bilocation. He considered historical accounts and eyewitness testimonies suggesting it might be a genuine phenomenon, though rare and poorly understood.
He's not claiming to have all the answers, but he's open to the possibility that there's more to reality than we see.
Exactly. Levi connects bilocation to the astral body, suggesting projecting one's consciousness outside the physical body, appearing elsewhere, while remaining tethered to the physical form.
So an out-of-body experience with a visible manifestation in the real world.
Levi argues that this ability, like other seemingly supernatural feats, might be developed through training and practice, cultivating willpower, focus, and awareness of the subtle energies connecting us to the universe.
This is making me question everything I thought I knew about reality.
That's exactly what Levi intended. He challenged conventional thinking, encouraging exploration of human potential and the possibility of abilities beyond our imagination.
It's a reminder that there's so much we don't know about the universe and our place in it.
Levi emphasizes that magic isn't just about power or supernatural experiences. It's about using these tools for personal growth, spiritual development, and ultimately for the betterment of humanity.
He's saying magic should be used responsibly, not for selfish gain, but to help us evolve and contribute to a more harmonious world.
Exactly. And in our next segment, we'll explore Levi's insights into the ethical considerations of magic, the importance of discerning between white and black magic, and how to use these principles to create a more positive and fulfilling life.
Sounds like we're about to uncover even more hidden wisdom. I'm eager to delve into the ethical dimensions of magic and see how these principles apply to our lives today.
Okay, so we've gone pretty deep into the world of magic, exploring the history, the philosophy, the techniques, even the possibility of werewolves and immortality.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But there's one crucial aspect we haven't fully addressed yet, the ethics of magic.
Ah, yes, the age-old question. With great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. And Levi doesn't shy away from this. He's very clear about the importance of using magic responsibly and ethically.
He makes a very clear distinction between what he calls white magic and black magic. And I'm guessing it's not just about the spells or rituals themselves, but about the intention behind them.
Exactly. It's about the motivation, the heart of the magician. What are they trying to achieve with their magic?
So for Levi, what defines white magic?
White magic for Levi is about aligning your will with the divine will, using your knowledge and power for healing, for growth, for understanding, for the benefit of yourself and others.
It's like magic with a conscience, right?
You could say that. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and using your abilities to contribute to the greater good.
And black magic, then?
Black magic is driven by selfish desires. It's about seeking power over others, manipulating them for personal gain, or even causing harm.
So it's about using these powerful tools for the wrong reasons.
And Levi is very clear about the dangers of going down that path.
What kind of dangers?
He talks about the potential for negative karma, for attracting malevolent entities, and even for damaging your own soul.
It's like a spiritual corruption.
Exactly. You can lose your way, become consumed by darkness if you're not careful.
So it's not just about ethical behavior in this life, but also about the impact on your soul, your spiritual evolution.
Precisely. And Levi provides examples of black magic practices to illustrate the dangers. He talks about curses, love potions, using necromancy for harmful purposes.
It's a sobering reminder that these forces are real, and we need to be mindful of how we use them.
The key takeaway is that true magical power isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself.
It's about self-knowledge,
Yeah.
self-discipline, and using your abilities to create a more harmonious world.
Exactly. Levi emphasizes that the greatest magical achievements come from aligning your will with the divine will, from using your knowledge and power to contribute to the balance and harmony of the universe.
So it's about becoming a co-creator with the universe, working with those forces rather than trying to control them.
Precisely. And that brings us back to the importance of self-knowledge, of ethical behavior, of spiritual growth, as the foundation for any responsible and effective use of magic.
It's not just about what you can do, but about who you are.
And that's why Levi's work is so relevant even today. It's not just about ancient spells and rituals, it's about a way of being in the world, a path of self-transformation and spiritual evolution.
It's about realizing our full potential as human beings and using our abilities for good.
Exactly. And that's the message he leaves us with at the end of Transcendental Magic.
What does he say?
He reminds us that we are not simply puppets of fate, but active creators of our reality. He challenges us to embrace the transformative power of magic, to use our knowledge and our will to shape our lives, and to contribute to a more just and harmonious world.
It's a powerful call to action.
He asks us, if magic is about harnessing the power of will and belief, what kind of magic do we create in our own lives, consciously or unconsciously?
Wow, that really makes you think. It's a reminder that we are all shaping our reality with every thought, every belief, every action.
We're all magicians in a way, whether we realize it or not.
So Levi's Transcendental Magic isn't just a historical curiosity. It's a guidebook for understanding and navigating the hidden forces within ourselves and in the universe.
It's about awakening to our true potential and using it to create a better world for ourselves and for everyone.
Well, I think we've successfully deciphered the language of Levi's Transcendental Magic.
I agree. It's been a fascinating and thought-provoking deep dive.
And I hope our listeners are leaving with a newfound appreciation for the power and the mystery of magic.
Not the magic of illusions and tricks,
but the magic of human consciousness and the power of our beliefs to shape our reality.
The magic that's within each and every one of us.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep embracing the magic in your life.